I just got done listening to my parents about their plans for the end of the year and everything.
Hey, Zach.
It sounds like the both of them will be going away to a ski resort for a bit, so they've asked if we can change our plans to match theirs.
Oh, is that so?
They seem to have forgotten about all of the things we talked about before with them.
Wow. Well, if that's the case, I had planned on going back to my family's house for a bit, but now I guess that I can just stay here at home. Or we can go with them. Do you think one of those two options is a good choice?
Well, if that's what you'd want to do, I think it's better to leave things to me.
What?
While I was on the phone with my parents a second ago, my little sister Sammy came inside, and I was able to hear from her for a little bit. She was going on about how her and her husband would be going to Hawaii for the end of the year and stuff like that.
Wait, they're going to Hawaii?
They got married instantly and never had a chance to have a wedding put together, so they thought that now would be the best time to celebrate a sort of honeymoon.
Hold on a sec. Sammy only just had her baby 3 months ago, and they're already wanting to go to Hawaii?
I can see why you'd be a bit worried about what'll happen with their baby.
Well, of course. I mean, she just had that baby a few months ago, and things were finally getting to the stage where they'd have to be with the baby a lot as it starts to grow. So what do they think they're doing now, going all the way out to Hawaii?
You don't have to worry about that. I made a deal with them that we'd take their baby while the two of them go enjoy Hawaii. So, have fun with the baby.
Huh? What did you mean by that last part?
You're looking after our niece while her parents are away. That's why I said that in a please and thank you sort of way.
Huh?
And the baby'll be coming to our place tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
My sister's husband gets a very long vacation during the holidays every year, which means that they will be in Hawaii for some time. So they want to be out of here tomorrow, the first day he has off from work.
Wait. I get that she's our niece, but she's a newborn, and as someone who has never taken care of a baby before, I have no idea of what to do. Why would you even make a deal like that without asking me first?
What? What's gotten into you, Everly? Don't you really love kids?
Yeah, I freaking love kids, but being around them for fun and having to actually take care of them as a parent are completely different things.
But it'll be good practice for you, right?
Stop saying crap like that, please. That is not the way to be looking at something like that. I get that it might be good practice for some people, but I'm not even going to get the chance to prepare for what is quite literally a newborn baby that I've never even met before. And even before this started, you knew about how I'd be going back to my parents' house for the first time in 2 years to finally spend some time with them.
But I already made this deal with them.
You should have known the moment they asked that you had to say no, Zach.
But come on.
No, none of those buts from you. What I'm saying to you is that it's going to be impossible for me to take care of a 3-month-old baby when I have no time to prepare for her.
But the thing is, I have work to go to still, and since I've already gone and made this deal, the only one who could watch the baby is you, Everly.
I also have work to go to. Every dang year, I have to work until the 29th and only have 1 day off for Christmas before getting 3 off for the new year.
What?
I still have plenty of days before I get time off.
Crap. I never really put any thought into your schedule.
Yeah, no duh. This is literally the busiest time of the year at this company, so I can't get a single day off besides the holidays. So since you were the one that made that deal with your sister, you're going to figure something out. Please.
What? Are you sure you can't do something to help me out here?
No!
But...
Don't even bother me anymore. I'm done talking with you for today.
Come on now, Everly.
Addie, do you mind if I talk with you a sec? I have something very serious and urgent to talk to you about. Hello, Everly. What's going on that's so important? It seems that starting tomorrow, my sister-in-law is heading away with her husband for the holidays and leaving their daughter with us. Huh? When you say your sister-in-law, you're talking about Sammy, right? And didn't she just have her first baby 3 months ago? Wait, what you're saying is that she's leaving you and Zach with their 3-month-old newborn baby? Yeah, my husband was an idiot and made a deal with them without even talking to me first. And Sammy's going with her husband to Hawaii for a little while, and this will all be happening tomorrow. Huh? Then, right after telling me that, my husband started to go on about how he'd still have to work and told me that I'd have to take care of our newborn niece alone. Even though he knows about the fact that I have to work up until the 29th and can't take any days off. How dare he make me take care of a newborn baby that I've never had any experience with after making a deal like that? I told him already that it wasn't happening, but he seemed so out of it that I'm not sure if he understood what I meant. Everly, have you made it home from work yet? No, I've stopped at a cafe for a bit to think. Everly, I think starting today, it's better that you don't go home. What? Based on what you've already told me, it doesn't seem like Zach is going to take no for an answer from you. You understand? You don't think so? I have this gut feeling that there is something more going on behind the scenes, and that those three will do everything to make sure you're stuck with the baby. Like bringing her over tonight and leaving you in charge? What? Hasn't Sammy always been the kind of girl where if things don't go exactly the way she planned them, she throws a fit and starts to ruin everyone else's time? I don't want to think she'd act as childishly when it comes to her own daughter, but based off her track record, I just have this really bad feeling that she's going to force you, one way or another, to take care of her kid while she runs off to Hawaii with her husband. That makes sense, actually. Then, how about you head over to my house? Is that all right with you? I think that even for a little bit, you should come here and wait to see what happens. Anyway, can you start heading over here after you're done at the cafe? If Zach starts to ask where you're at, tell him you went to your older sister's house to talk about some things regarding the end of the year and such. Sounds good. I'm going to start heading to your place right now.
Everly? Hey, where the heck are you right now?
I've gone over to my older sister's place that she moved into not too long ago.
What?
And I was just about to start texting you when you began to call me.
Why did you go to your older sister's place?
I wanted to talk with her about the plans we both had to head back to my parents' house at the end of the year. I wanted to see if it'd be all right if I rode with her down to my parents' place. She then asked me to come on over so that we could talk more about it and some other things relating to the holidays.
So does that mean you're going back to your parents' place then?
I am.
That's not good for me.
What are you talking about? I told you about these plans a long time ago. Back in October, I think.
I know, but if you leave, then what am I going to do? You know, with this.
With what? What is this that you're talking about?
Oh,
Hey, Zach, I know I shouldn't be asking this, but did Sammy come over to the house one day early, forcing her baby onto you so that they could leave bright and early tomorrow?
Actually...
I knew that was going to be the case.
Well, if you knew, then why didn't you come home right away? Come on now, and tell your family you're not going back to their house now.
Well, good luck taking care of a 3-month-old on your own.
Huh?
I told you that I wasn't taking care of that baby, right? I have had plans for 3 months now to go back to my parents' house for the end of the year.
But don't you still have work you need to take care of?
I just called with my boss a little bit ago, and he said it would be totally fine for me to work remotely for the last few days of this year, so I could go home to see my parents. I just have to go in tomorrow and get my laptop from my desk, and I'll be good.
So you're gonna make me take care of this newborn all on my own now? It's times like these right here where you should be at home with your husband helping out with the family.
All I noticed was you thinking you could get away with shoving your niece onto me after not even talking with me about this first.
What?
I have never, ever, not once in my life, taken care of a newborn baby, Zach. I'm sure for some gosh dang reason, you were thinking that because someday we'd be having a kid or two, that forcing me to take care of your sister's baby would be a good learning experience for me. But here's the thing. What if me, being someone who has never ever dealt with babies before in my life, were to end up having an emergency with the baby? What would happen then? That would not be good for me, right? Are you telling me you thought it would be a good thing, a safe thing, leaving someone with no parenting experience at all to take care of a newborn baby over any of the countless other options your sister had? I think you going and making that deal with your sister goes to show that you don't care about the baby.
But hold on, if we didn't take the baby, then my sister's trip to Hawaii...
Who the hell cares about her vacation? After all the things your annoying little sister has done to us, you damn well should have known that by taking her baby this time, she'd begin to think it's okay to depend on us all the time. I knew the moment you brought that deal you made up that things would start to go downhill, and that's why I'm heading home to my parents' house early now. I told you no. So no matter what you have to say to me, it's no. Addie, sorry for wanting to talk while you're out. I just got some scary news from one of the neighbors back near my house. Huh? What happened? What news did they give you? That bastard Zach, he brought another woman home with him to stay the night at our house. Huh? I'm going to assume that he's making her take care of our niece now as well. And from what my neighbor overheard, he was saying things about how I left him to hide at my parents' house and that he was forced to be all alone with his sister's baby. I spoke with my neighbor before about how Zach was trying to leave me with our niece so that his sister could go to Hawaii with her husband. So you're telling me Zach is desperate to find a way out of his own responsibility? Yeah, and I made sure my neighbor sent me some photos as proof for all that's going on there. I think the girl he brought home with him is one of his coworkers. And since this happens to be a 3-month-old newborn we're talking about here, he had to find someone who's had that same experience from his work, right? There are plenty of people who work with Zach that have already had kids before and know how to deal with them. So it would be really hard for me to pinpoint who exactly this woman is that he's been working with. I'm sure. Sammy and her husband will be getting back home on the 7th, right? Yeah, that's the plan that I heard. Well, this is a little... I think before her and her husband get home, we're going to have to collect more evidence of what's going on with Zach at your house. Hey, Zach. I know I'm really late with this, but Happy New Year. Ever since you started to take care of our niece, we haven't really communicated much, but how have things been going with her?
What the hell? So now, of all times, you're finally going to start talking to me again?
I felt that it should have been you who texted me first, considering the situation you put yourself in, and that's why I never sent you anything. But today is the day Sammy and her husband come home from Hawaii, so I thought it would be time for me to contact you again.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you're just wanting to know about the baby, I've been having to take care of her this whole entire time.
Are you sure?
To be honest, it was a lot more easy than I thought.
So you've been at home all by yourself taking care of our 3-month-old niece?
I mean, look, there wasn't anyone else I could have counted on to take care of her with me, so what do you think?
I kind of assumed that your mom and dad would have canceled their trip to that ski resort in order to come and help you out a bit. But after talking with them, they didn't even know that Sammy and her husband were going to Hawaii for the holidays.
That's what it sounds like. Sammy said that she didn't want to worry either of them, so she wanted to keep her trip a secret from them and leave.
Interesting that she didn't want to worry her parents any with her trip to Hawaii, yet was totally okay with leaving her newborn in the hands of people who have had zero experience with kids.
But this whole time I've taken care of the baby with no problem at all. In other words, this means that you have become too prudent.
Oh? Then could you tell me who this female is in all these photos I'm holding on to right now?
Female in those photos?
Yep, I have photos of her going into our house and also leaving our house. I've had someone I stayed in touch with this whole time feeding me info about what's been going on there and gathering evidence for me. This female, is she not the same woman you've been working with for a while now? Andrea?
What?
She's that same woman that would bring you home sometimes from those dinners you'd have for work where you'd get too drunk to drive, right? I kind of remembered her from somewhere. So perhaps whenever she'd come to the door with you wrapped in her arms as she carried your drunk ass inside, she was saying that she could become your wife for any reason?
What? No, wait. Andrea is... She knew about how I was having to take care of our newborn niece all alone, so she was just coming over for a little bit to give me a hand was all, okay?
When you say for a little bit, do you mean that she's been at the house for the past 10 days straight, staying the night with you while also having to take care of the baby girl? From what I've heard about Andrea, she ended up losing her husband in a divorce because she's been cheating on him, and in that divorce she lost custody of her kids, right? I suppose since she actually has the experience with young babies, she's a better option than someone with no experience whatsoever. But bringing in the woman that you've been cheating on me with to take care of your sister's baby?
No, wait, Andrea's not that kind of woman to me.
Listen here, Zach. I've already figured everything out with the help of some professional people.
What?
And in order to catch you cheating on me today, I have everyone outside the door of our house waiting for you. Right now.
Everyone?
Both of your parents, as well as both of my parents, my older sister, and Andrea's parents as well.
What?
I can tell that the both of you put the baby to bed and are now using this moment to sleep in our bedroom together while you have downtime, right?
Huh?
I have an app on my phone where I can watch the camera in our house.
A camera?
I actually came home after learning you were cheating on me while you were at work and Andrea took the baby on a walk. And during that little bit of time, I placed a camera in our room to watch and see what all happened. And sure enough, I've seen more than I wished to see of Andrea in our bed.
What?
Now, we're all going to be coming inside.
No! Please!
And with that, on the day my sister-in-law and her husband were coming home from Hawaii, the rest of the family and I raided my house to find my husband with another woman. When Sammy and her husband did show up, they were both furious to learn that Zach was using his secret woman to care for their daughter and was sleeping with her in our house. But Sammy and her husband weren't safe from the wrath of their parents, as both my mother-in-law and father-in-law took Zach, Sammy, and her husband with them back to their house. There they got the whooping of a lifetime before their dad told them that they were never going to be a part of his family again. As of right now, my in-laws have decided to take my niece from Sammy and care for her while everyone else figures out their problems. And as for myself, I made sure to divorce Zach on that day. And of course, I made sure to get a settlement from both him and Andrea for having cheated on me. Because of that, not only did the both of them go into some serious debt, but the news got around their office and both of them were forced to leave their jobs. Word of both Sammy and her husband being bad parents also circled around town and into their workplaces, and they too ended up leaving their jobs. Now, 4 new people have joined the ranks of poverty and are having to worry about basic needs like food and water instead of their baby or their niece. I've heard news that a little while after all of that went down, Zach and Andrea ended up getting married to try and make it easier for themselves to pay off their debt. But only a week after they got married, there was an accident and Andrea became pregnant with Zach's first child. I'm not sure how quickly they can both find new jobs and pay off their debts, but they'd better do all that soon before that baby comes into their lives. And as for Sammy and her husband, well, there hasn't been all that much news about them since they got disowned from both their families, and I think they ran off to go hide somewhere else. And of course, you might be asking what happened with me. I moved out of my ex's house the day after our divorce and to my sister's place where I could stay with her for a bit. Since she herself is single, we've come up with a plan to stay that way for the rest of our lives, since I've already had a taste of the married life and my sister was never interested in the first place. I am a little bummed that I never got to have a kid of my own with anyone, but I'm still young, so who knows what about my thoughts will change and what kind of men I could run into next. The only thing I'm going to say, though, is that if the time does come that I really want to try again, that man better listen to me and listen well. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
David, where are you right now? Can you please just get back here right now? This is an emergency, okay? I need you to come home immediately. This is an emergency. Get back to me as soon as you can. I'm serious, like code red serious over here.
Whoa, Sandra. What's going on? Is everything okay?
No! My water just broke and my contractions are starting. I'm about to have the baby. You did just say you were going to the store and you'd be right back, right? Well, I need you back here right now.
Oh, shoot. That's not gonna work. I can't come back right now.
What do you mean you can't come back? What's the matter?
Well, why are you lying to me about your contractions, huh? I know that you aren't supposed to be having that baby for at least another 10 days, isn't that right?
That was just the expected delivery date, but you know that it's normal to be off by a few days. Surely you've heard of babies being born just before or after their expected dates, right?
Wait a second. Are you telling me that you found out?
What are you talking about? Found out about what? Can you please just get yourself in the car back here as soon as possible?
Oh, shoot. Well, if you know, then I guess there's really no point in pretending anymore.
What are you even talking about? I don't even know what it is that I found out about.
Well, okay. The truth is that I'm on vacation with my ex-wife right now.
Excuse me? You're doing what right now? Is that supposed to be some kind of a sick joke or something? Because I don't find it funny at all.
Well, I guess to be more accurate, I should say that I'm meeting my wife for a vacation since we're meeting up there. But that doesn't really matter. What does matter is that we're going on a romantic trip together.
And when you say your ex...
That's right. Anyways, I've already gone through security at the airport, so there's no turning back for me now. So don't bother trying to come up with any other lies to try and trick me into coming back. After all, that's what you were doing just now, wasn't it?
Of course that wasn't what I was doing. I really am going into labor, David. You can't actually think I'm lying, right? This is really happening. You and I are about to be parents.
Sure thing. Whatever you say. Well, I guess I'll see you in a week. And when I do get back, you and I are gonna have a long talk about how it might be time for a divorce. Speaking of, I've left some signed divorce papers in the safe in my office. Feel free to fill them out and then send them off. It will save me the trouble. Hey, you little punk. Just what the hell are you thinking, huh? Your wife is about to give birth any day and you just ran off on a vacation with your ex-wife? What is the matter with you? I'm ashamed to have you as a little brother. Wait, Richard, is that really you? It's been so long since you and I have talked, and this is what you have to say to me after all this time? Wait, that's right, it's me. And I just don't understand how you could do that to your own wife. You know that her family lives so far away from where you guys do. You were the only person she had in hundreds of miles. You need to get back here right now and be with your wife. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me the only reason that I'm hearing from my estranged big brother is because you fell for Sandra's lies. What the heck are you talking about? What lies? You mean you really haven't figured it out? That's honestly kind of surprising. I thought you have been more clever than that. After all, you do both work at the same place. I thought you would have seen the truth right away. Maybe you should calm down and think this through just a little more, yeah? And then you can apologize for coming after me when you just fell for Sandra's lies. You seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I don't see how you can even try to deflect blame when you're the one who wasn't here when your wife gave birth. Instead, I had to stand here in your place? Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I mean that nobody has been lying to you, David. You've just been lying to yourself. Wait a second. Then, you mean that Sandra really gave birth? That's right. The baby was delivered about 2 hours ago, in fact. Oh, wow. Well then, this is just another reason to get a divorce then, isn't it? And just what do you mean by that? Well, this just proves it, doesn't it? The baby was born 10 days before we were told that it was supposed to be born. That can only mean that the baby that Sandra just gave birth to isn't my child. It's someone else's. Have you lost your mind? You can actually think that, right? No, just think about it. Now that I know she's cheated on me, this means that Mary and I can get back together and Sandra can't say anything. All my problems are solved. I really can't believe that you're seriously saying all of this. You're just ridiculous, do you know that? Who knew that 10 days could make such a difference? But it's all the proof I need. I don't even know what to say if that's how you think that reality works. You're completely crazy, do you know that? What do you mean? All my problems are solved. This is perfect. You know, Sandra showed me the text that she sent you the day she went into labor. You're either really stupid or just cruel. And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? Anyway, I'm kinda busy right now, so I've got to go. See you. Hey David, where are you going? We're not done here. Hey Sandra, are you there? Is now a good time? I just wanted to check on you and make sure that you're doing alright.
Oh, hey there, Richard. Thanks for asking after me. I think I'm fine, though. No serious scars or anything like that.
That's really good to hear. Do you mind if I text you for a little bit then?
Not at all. I'd be happy to talk. Although I'm guessing that you came here to talk to me about David.
I'm afraid that you're spot on. That's exactly who and what I've come to talk to you about. I'm sorry that we are having to have these conversations so soon after you've given birth. I can't imagine what you must be going through.
So I take it that that means he really did go away on a vacation with his ex-wife?
It seemed that way. Yes. I guess for some reason he wants to try and get back together with Mary.
Did he ever say why he wanted to get back with her so badly?
You have met Mary before, haven't you?
Didn't you know? Her and I used to be close friends when we were younger. We hung out a lot back then. And David would always come over to us and flirt with Mary. That's how they ended up getting married.
I can't believe that he would do that and turn around and marry you. It almost seems cruel.
I know it seems that way, but I was so lonely back then. And when David broke up with Mary, part of me thought it was because he was always secretly liking me.
It sounds that there were a lot of complicated emotions going on between the three of you back then. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It's not a problem. I just thought I would give you the full story, or at least as much as I know.
Right, well, I do still have Mary's contact information on my phone. Of course, we never really interacted with each other outside of occasional New Year's card or something. That's actually the way that I found out she had remarried.
Oh, really? You mean that after her and David divorced, that Mary found someone else to marry?
That's right. They didn't even have a ceremony though. They just decided it was easier to do the civil service and nothing else. And the guy she married, well, she sure knows how to pick them.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, sorry. I would explain, but I actually have to get back to work right now. Thanks for talking to me about this.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry to have taken up your lunch break telling you all those sad details.
No, it isn't a problem. Thanks again for sharing that with me. Alright then, I'm going back to work, but I'll come and visit you in the hospital soon. Then I can tell you about Mary's new husband.
Sounds good. See you then.
Sandra, are you there? Please pick up the phone right now. It's an emergency. I just wanted you to know that I love you so much and there isn't another woman in the world that I would rather be with. I mean, you didn't really think that I was gonna get back together with Mary, did you? You know that you've always been the only woman for me. I would never actually seriously think about leaving you. And Mary is overrated anyways. I'm so happy that I get to come home to you. You have to know that, right? So please, let's not talk anymore about divorce or any kind of nasty business like that, okay? I mean, it's not that anyone said anything about divorce, right? You know that I was just messing around when I said that. I didn't really mean it at all. But I know you know me well enough to know that, right? Hello? Are you getting these? Can you at least get back to me so that I know you're seeing them? Sandra, are you there? This is an emergency.
Oh, hey there, Richard. What's up? Is everything okay?
No, there's a lot going on. I had to leave work early and I'm in an Uber right now.
Hold on a second. I don't understand. What's going on?
Well, you remember how you told me about how my brother told you that he left signed divorce papers in the safe in his office before leaving for his trip?
Yeah, I do remember sending you that text and me telling you about it as well.
Well, I'm really sorry. But do you think that you could tell me the passcode to the safe so that I can get in?
Oh no, the safe is just all show. It doesn't even have a key to get in. You can just open it right up.
Okay then. I just want to make sure it's okay with you that I use the key to your house that you gave me so that I could go and get those papers for you. Is that alright?
Yeah, I guess that's fine, but what exactly are you going to do with them?
I'm going to bring them to you so that you can leave David.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
That's right. I actually got a text from Mary. You aren't going to believe this. But she told me that David had been stalking her and that her husband and another person in the office got a hold of him.
Wait, what? He was stalking her this whole time?
I knew there was nowhere that they would get back together.
What in the world is going on here? I don't understand.
I know this is a lot to take in at once, but I saw on Instagram that Mary was posting stories about being on vacation with her husband.
But I thought that she was there, David.
No. He bought a plane ticket to go all the way and see her, hoping to try and steal her away or swoon her or something.
I don't know what to say. Are you sure about all this? Because that's just crazy.
I know how crazy it sounds, but right now, I think your best move is going to be cutting all ties with David as soon as you can.
Well, if this is all true, then I guess there's no point in keeping up this sham of a marriage anymore.
Great. I know it isn't going to be easy, but you aren't alone. I'll be by with the papers as soon as I can. I'll fill you in on all the details when I get there, okay? Just don't say a word to David, no matter what he says. Sandra, are you there? Why aren't you getting back to me? Haven't you read my messages? Please, you're my wife. You have to get back to me. Don't you know how much I love you and miss you? I'm so sorry that I ended up going on a vacation with Mary, but it was just a coincidence. We weren't even actually going there together.
David, I just want you to know that you and I are divorced.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I took out the divorce papers that you keep in your study, signed them, and sent them away to be filed. So as of now, you and I are officially no longer married.
Whoa. Hold on there. You just had a baby. You're still in a... What are you thinking doing this right now?
I don't see what the problem is. You had already signed those papers. All I had to do was add my name and the dates, and that was that.
But you can't just get a divorce while I'm not there. That isn't fair. It's outrageous.
If you didn't want this to happen, then you shouldn't have left those papers lying around the house and always threatening me with them. Anyways, this is all your fault. You left me no choice after all the disturbances you've been causing.
You mean that... You know? How did you find out?
That's right. I found out all about what you've been up to, and I just want to say that I want nothing to do with it at all.
Wait. Hold on. This can't be happening. I refuse to believe this is happening.
Well, it is, so you better start getting used to it, David.
Richard, are you there? Why would you do this to me? Why would you tell Sandra about what happened? And why didn't you tell me that Mary was married? I had no idea. Especially not that she was married to someone in the mob. If I had known that, I would have never even tried getting back together with her. And there you go again, making excuses for yourself and trying to avoid taking responsibility for your actions. Maybe you shouldn't have even been trying to get back together with your ex-wife in the first place. I don't know. I was being stupid, but I didn't want things to end like this. It isn't fair. What do you think about that? And so what's going to happen now that you've gotten in trouble with the mobster's wife? I don't know. I think Mary gave him my number though, because I've been getting some really scary text messages. Well, it sounds to me like you're only getting what's coming to you. I think having someone shake you around a little might do you some good, to be honest. You can't really mean that, right? You don't actually want me to go through that, do you? Well, if you're actually worried about anything happening, you can always go tell the cops that you're scared. But you'll have to admit to them exactly what it is that you did to get this guy after you in the first place. But then, what if they don't take my side? What if they're just gonna turn around and ignore me while I get beaten up? Please. You're really not gonna help your brother at all? Brother? I do not have a brother. You and I are not family anymore. Do you understand me?
A few days later, David and I's divorce was settled. He was forced to pay a huge sum in alimony for the stalking of his ex-wife, as well as child support for our baby, who he never even got to meet. As for David, he was pulled into a dark alley one night and did get beat up by Mary's husband and his goons. By the time help arrived for him, they had already disappeared and left David all alone. But after that, David got a text from Mary's husband telling him that they were even. Richard told me he still thinks that David got off too easily. I'm just happy to have him out of my life. As for me, after the divorce, I told my parents all about what happened and how I had just given birth. They flew out to see me and helped me pack up all my things. I went to go and live with them for a little while as I got back on my feet and got used to being a mother. Of course, it helped greatly to have my parents' help in taking care of my newborn. Although I don't talk to David at all, Richard and I still keep in touch and ask after each other often. In fact, he's even come to my parents' house to visit my baby and me. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, babe, I'm gonna go out drinking with my coworkers tonight, so don't wait up for me.
What? Why?
What do you mean, why? They invited me out to drink, so I'm gonna go drink. Simple as that.
That's not what I'm talking about. We had an agreement. We were going to sit down tonight to talk face-to-face about our plans for the future, Roy.
Did you not hear me? I said they invited me. Do you expect me to turn them down?
Yes.
Tell me, Michelle, who's the one providing you with the lifestyle you have right now?
What? I have no idea what you mean.
Okay, you're having trouble, so let me ask you another way. Whose name is on the lease for the lovely apartment you're living in?
Yours? But what's your point? We split both the rent and living expenses 50-50.
But it's my apartment. I am the one, out of the kindness of my heart, allowing you to live here.
Allowing is an odd way to speak to your live-in girlfriend.
Think about your position. Your parents are both dead. You have no siblings. In other words, if I ever got tired of having you around, you'd have nowhere else to go. You might want to think about that a bit before you start giving me any crap about anything.
What are you trying to say, Roy?
Oh, come on, Michelle. You're not that dumb. You know fully well exactly what I'm saying to you.
All right, then. I guess I'll go ahead and ask what I was going to ask you to your face tonight, right now.
What do you want?
We've been seeing each other for 10 years now, Roy. When are you going to start thinking about marriage?
Huh?
Plus, we've been living together for 3 of those years. I mean, you and I are both turning 30 next year.
Wait, do you want to marry me?
Again, we've been dating for 10 whole years. Our relationship is pretty stable and we've managed to come this far, just kind of like going with the flow or something. But I think I've waited long enough. I want to hear it directly from you. What do you want from our relationship?
What are you getting so anxious about? I don't see any reason to rush into anything.
You might feel that way, but I don't. It's clear that we have very different views on marriage and family, and I think we should sit down and flesh those differences out face to face.
Yeah, how about in 10 years after I've had my fun?
Roy?
Hey, it's not like I don't want to get married or anything. It's just that, there's a lot of stuff that a guy can only do when he's single. And it's the same in the reverse. There's some stuff that you can only do once you're married. Once we're married, then I'll start thinking about having kids, raising kids, planning for the future, all that stuff. I can't get married yet. There's still so much single guy stuff that I want to do. If I got married now, it would ruin my whole life.
Okay, and you say you need 10 years to do all that single guy stuff?
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you understand, babe.
Right. You'll want to get married 10 years from now. Got it.
I'm glad you came to see my way of thinking, Michelle. I'm glad we took the time to sort things out. This really was a great idea. And trust me, I totally get your position. I'm the only one you have. It makes sense you'd want to know how long you have to wait for me. So you just be a good little girl and hang in there. I'll let you know once I'm ready to settle down.
I'm not finished, Roy.
You're not?
When I said got it, I didn't mean, okay, we'll do it your way. I only meant that I understood your position. If I wait 10 years for you, I'm going to be 40 years old.
Yeah, so what?
I want to have a family, Roy.
Okay, so you want kids? I still don't see what your point is. If you want kids, you can have them when you're 40.
Sure, it's possible to have kids at that age, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, whatever it is that you're trying to say, it doesn't change the fact that I'm not getting married yet. I've made my decision. I need 10 more years to enjoy life before I lock myself down, and that's final.
So there's no changing your mind then?
Nope. You should be thanking me that I'm only making you wait 10 years. Keep giving me crap and I might make it 20.
I've got an idea. How about you just enjoy your life until the very end?
Huh?
I can't wait that long.
Michelle?
You've made your position clear. You don't see any value at all in marriage and family, but I'm not like you. And if this is how you're going to react to me pouring out my soul to you by completely shutting me out, then I'm not going to wait one more second for you. I'm leaving today.
Whoa, settle down, girl. Is it that time of the month or something?
Goodbye.
Goodbye? As if you had anywhere to go. Whatever, I'll give you some time to cool off. I'm a patient guy, unlike some people I know, so I'll be waiting for when you come running back to me.
Hey there, Morgan. I hate to drop this on you so suddenly, but would it be okay for me to stay the night at your place? I've got quite a bit of luggage with me, so I'm gonna head over there in my car, if that's okay. Uh-oh, Michelle, what's going on? You're more than welcome to spend the night, and I have one extra parking space that you can use. Are you okay, though? I just broke up with Roy. You what? What on earth happened between you two? I'll give you the details later, but here's the rundown. We've been dating for 10 years, living together for 3, and we'll be turning 30 soon. I've tried to talk to him about marriage in the past, but he just kept putting it off and putting it off. I've been wondering how long is he going to keep me waiting? I know, you've talked to me about that before. And I mean, he's had more than enough opportunities before now. You're 100% right. So I told him outright that I wanted him to come home as soon as possible tonight so we can finally have the talk. But then he blew me off to go drinking with his coworkers. Oh no. He does this all the time. So I went ahead and popped the big question to him via text, and when he gave me his answer, well, I made up my mind. To be honest, I had a feeling this is how it was going to turn out, so I've been packing up my stuff little by little for a while. I told him I was leaving, put my boxes in the car, and, well, that was that. You poor thing. Oh, come on over to my place, Michelle. You need a place to relax. I'll talk to my husband about it. You can go ahead and stay here as long as it takes to find yourself a new place. Oh, and if you need some help looking, one of my friends works at a real estate firm, one of the biggest in town. Thanks, Morgan. You're a really great friend.
Yo, Michelle, what gives? It's been 3 years now. Don't you think this has gone on long enough? Were you waiting for me to reach out to you first before you'd come back? Well, congratulations, here I am. You win. So get over whatever weird thing you're going through and get back over here. Seriously, though, where you been staying all this time? Yeah, we could talk about all that later. I know it'll take some time to pack up your stuff, so I'll give you a month to get ready. And if you get here fast enough, I might just even marry you as a reward. But that's a limited time offer. You better act fast. God, you are one stubborn woman. Fine, I'll compromise for you again. You don't need to move over here. I'll move in with you. Don't worry about telling me your address, by the way. I already know. I just so happened to run into a friend of yours at the bar the other day. You're in that new place over on West Blanchfield Street, right? I gotta hand it to you, you have great taste. Everyone I know has been trying to get a place there since they first put it up. And when we got to talking, they said you bought a condo because you were planning on getting married soon. Man, you must really miss me. You went out and bought a condo for me without even talking to me first? God, women are so effing confusing. First you're all like, oh, I'm angry, I'm leaving. And then you're all like, I love you, Roy, please take me back. Make up your mind, would you? I'll get my stuff over there tonight. Make sure my room is clean, okay? All right, we're gonna get married, so I should say make sure our room is clean, right? Anyway, see you later, babe. Yo, Michelle! Your knight in shining armor has arrived. By the way, what's our room number? I gotta input the room number on this crazy security panel thingy here. Man, this place is super high tech, huh?
Hello, Roy. It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Huh? Who are you?
I'm Morgan. I'm a friend of your ex-girlfriend, Michelle.
Oh, it's you. Man, that takes me back ages. I ain't seen you in forever. Actually, come to think of it, I think I've only seen you once, right? You stopped by the house one day before heading downtown with Michelle, and then I've never seen you since.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, and just a slight correction, Michelle isn't my ex-girlfriend, she's my fiancée. Ha! Who am I kidding? At this point, you can just go ahead and call her my wife.
You're standing in the security station in front of her building, aren't you?
Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! We're gonna live here together from now on, so you can feel free to stop by and hang out anytime you want.
Leave. Immediately.
Huh?
You've been trying to get back together with Michelle lately, haven't you? But good grief, I never expected you to try and force your way into her house.
Her house? Are you not paying attention to something? We're getting married, so it's our house.
Michelle got married to my brother, you moron.
What?
Do you have any idea what you've been doing to her the last month? She's been talking to me about how her ex-boyfriend is sending her creepy, delusional texts. She has more than enough on her mind already with being pregnant and everything.
Whoa, being what?
She doesn't need you adding any more stress into her life, so I'm here giving you a message for her so she doesn't have to deal with you.
Back up, Morgan. Michelle is pregnant?
Yes, she's currently pregnant with my brother's child.
That's impossible.
And another thing, that condo belongs to Michelle and my brother.
But...
He bought it to provide a stable and safe environment for Michelle and their child. Neither of them want anything to do with you.
No way. You're full of it. I heard Michelle's friend saying she bought it so she could live there with me.
You're referring to Nancy, right?
Let me think. Yeah, I think that was her name.
She told me that she ran into a weird guy at the bar who kept asking question after question about Michelle. She was super creeped out. Apparently, she let her guard down and told you about her new condo, for which she apologized profusely. But for the record, what she told you is that Michelle is married and her husband bought a condo for them to live in.
Wait.
I guess you had so much to drink at that point that you completely overwrote what she said with your drunken delusions of still having a chance at love.
I can't believe this. I waited 3 whole years for Michelle to come back to me, and this is what I get?
She told you she was breaking up with you. If you were waiting for her, you were wasting your time.
Oh, come on. She was just PMSing on me when she said that.
No, she broke up with you because you were the biggest letdown of her life. And I won't let you pretend that you were faithfully waiting for your prodigal girlfriend to come home. If you were really waiting for her, then why have you been dating a different woman up until recently? And not just any woman, a married woman. Married to your boss, may I add.
What? How did you know that?
Once I heard that you were sniffing around for information on Michelle, I started doing some digging into you myself. Your boss found out about your affair and sued you. You're now underemployed, penniless, and alone. And now you're trying to get back with Michelle to have her bail you out of the hole you dug for yourself.
Hey, come on. I really am in it deep over here. I ran out of money to pay the rent, so they evicted me a few days ago. I got nowhere to go.
Not my problem, or Michelle's problem.
Can you give Michelle a message for me?
No! Now get lost, you pathetic loser! As you've just seen, my best friend Morgan was so concerned about my mental and physical health that she volunteered to get rid of my creepy ex-boyfriend for me. She managed to get some pretty detailed information on his recent trouble, too. While he wasn't fired after it got found out that he had slept with his boss's wife, it was so humiliating for him to be around the office that he resigned voluntarily. His family was already disgusted with him due to how he strung me along for 10 years, only to drive me away. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. They completely cut him out of their lives and never wanted to speak with him again. With nowhere else to go, he remembered me, the only good thing he'd ever had in his life, and thought he would try to get back together with me. That didn't work out too well for him. Now, with literally nowhere to go, he ended up camping out in local parks for a while. One particularly hot day, he was found beneath a park bench, passed out from heat exhaustion, and taken to the hospital. At this point, I'm not sure if he lost his cell phone, it got stolen, or maybe he just stopped paying his monthly bill. But he never contacted any of his acquaintances ever again after that. I think he's alive, but I don't know for sure, and to be brutally honest, I don't really care either.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Excuse me, Christina, but just what do you think you're doing? I just saw you walking out of the office. Are you leaving already? Oh, hello there, Miss Carlisle. I hope you had a productive day so far. Yes, I took care of all the work I was assigned for today, so seeing as it's 5 o'clock, I have nothing left to do. I was just about to clock out and head home. Why do you ask? You think you have the right to just walk out of the office right away at 5? Yes, I do. I don't have anything else on my plate for today, so yeah, I'm going home. Hold it right there, Christina. You're not done yet. What about the data I told you to take care of earlier this morning? What happened with that? Are you referring to the materials you asked me to produce to be used in the presentation for the Slock Spring Industries project? Yes, obviously. I explicitly told you to have that on my desk by no later than 3 o'clock, but I don't see it anywhere. I took care of all that before lunch. You should be able to find the data in the shared folder on the company's server. What? I spoke to you in person before I went on my lunch break, letting you know it was done, and you looked me in the eyes, nodded, and said, thank you. Also, just to make sure, I sent you a message through the company's chat system after I finished my lunch break, and once again you told me, thanks, got it. You did? Oh, well, that's strange. I don't remember that at all. From the sound of things, I presume you're still at the office, correct? If you could go to your chat window, I believe you'll find all the relative messages in my tab, as well as the file containing the data you asked me for. Oh, there it is. I guess I must have overlooked it. Oh, so you managed to find it? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well then, if there's nothing else, I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening, Mrs. Carlisle. Hey, we're not finished yet! We're not? I was fairly certain I had addressed all of your concerns. Is there anything else? Well, you may be finished, but I'm not. And I've been with this company for far longer than you have. What gives you the right to go home when I still have work left to do? You should be staying behind to help me finish my work. I'm quite certain that using seniority as leverage to force junior employees to stay beyond their contracted hours is a clear violation of the employee harassment policy that our parent company sent out to all its child companies. How dare you talk back to me! Additionally, they also sent out a memo encouraging efficient work procedures to eliminate the need for employees to do overtime as part of our cost-cutting measures. So, in just this conversation alone, you have violated both the letter and spirit of both corporate policies. If I may be so bold, I would recommend that you cease behaving this way toward not only me, but all of the other employees in the office. Not only are you contributing to a negative work environment, but if these violations were made known to your quarterly review committee, it would have a serious negative effect on your evaluation. That's just my 2 cents, though. Do with it what you will.
What is wrong with you? Who do you think you are, bringing up those stupid corporate policies to me? Just because you were transferred here from our parent company doesn't mean you're any better than me, and don't you forget that.
I'm sorry, did I give off the impression that I thought I was better than you?
Either that, or you're just a goody two-shoes and a suck-up to the corporate bosses.
I see. Well, I had no intentions of coming off that way, so if that's how I sounded, then I apologize.
And seriously, you're in no position to be giving me lectures about corporate memos or whatever.
I'm not?
No, you're not. Maybe if you were actually someone who mattered to this company, then I might pay a little bit more heed to your tirade right now. Look, I don't know how badly you had to mess up to be transferred here from our parent company, but the second you walked in that door, your experience there completely vanished. Poof, gone. It doesn't mean a thing here. You're no different than any other newbie, low-level employee we hire fresh out of college. I am your superior, and you will do what I say when I say.
For the record, I'm not at liberty to discuss all the details yet, but my transfer here from the corporate office wasn't a punitive transfer.
Oh, sure, of course. You're actually a super-duper important person on a big mission. Yeah, right, no one believes you. It's okay, it happens. They took a big chance on you and you completely failed to live up to their expectations, so they're chucking you somewhere that you can't do too much damage. Just admit it.
By the way, if you're done with questions for me, would you mind if I asked you something?
What now?
Didn't you say you were working overtime right now?
Huh? Yeah, I was, but I'm just about to leave. Why?
I'm fairly sure that the materials for the Slock Spring Industries project presentation were supposed to be submitted to the department manager first thing tomorrow morning.
What? Wait, I thought those weren't due until Friday. I should still have another day to get them finished.
Tomorrow is Friday, Miss Carlyle.
It is?
Are you aware of what day it is today?
Well, let's see. Yesterday was Tuesday, I think.
I'm sorry, but yesterday was Wednesday, today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. Thus, the materials need to be ready by tomorrow morning, as I was saying.
Oh, no. Oh, this is terrible. What am I going to do?
Well, whatever it is you're going to do, I believe engaging in such a long text conversation about irrelevant matters is a less than efficient use of your time.
You little! Why didn't you tell me it was Thursday?
That's what calendars are for. There's nothing in my contract that states I have any responsibility to inform you of what day it is.
Christina, where are you right now?
Good afternoon, Miss Carlyle. I hope you had a pleasant morning. I was just in the middle of eating lunch in the employee cafeteria. Why do you ask?
You're doing what? And where? What makes you think you have the right to use the employee cafeteria?
The fact that I'm an employee of this company isn't enough. My contract clearly states that I have the ability to purchase lunch from the employee cafeteria if I so choose.
Oh, you cannot be serious. All the other employees here were hired by the company directly for their talent. You, on the other hand, were sent here from the parent company because of your lack of talent. We're not the same, and don't think for 1 second you're on our level. Plus, if you've got enough free time to eat lunch, then you should be working.
It's 12:45 right now, and my lunch break lasts until 1 o'clock.
Were you not paying attention just now? Lunch breaks are for employees who matter. You do not. I don't want to see you doing anything that doesn't involve making money for this company. You can eat after work.
Malnourishment on the job doesn't only result in decreased productivity as the day drags on, it can also lead to health episodes resulting in missed work, further reducing company efficiency.
Again with the back-talking!
In addition to common human knowledge that people are much less efficient when working on an empty stomach, there are multiple studies showing that elimination of lunch breaks in favor of working reduces productivity by more than is gained by the additional hour of work during the day.
What are you?
And most importantly, my contract says I have a 1-hour lunch break from 12 to 1.
I won't allow you, or anyone else for that matter, to take my lunch break from me. Now, I'm in the middle of a delicious meal, so if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get back to eating. The chicken soup they're serving today is quite good. I would recommend you giving it a try on your lunch break. I have had it up to here with your insubordination. I'm coming right over there to teach you a lesson in this company's hierarchy. I hope you're ready for what happens next. Well, Christina, how does it feel? Have you managed to wash all that egg out of your hair yet? Hello, Miss Carlyle. I hope your afternoon is going better than mine is. Since I have you, can I ask you to explain your actions just now? Oh my God, you still don't get it? I can't think of anything I've done to you to merit having a raw egg thrown at me. I guess you really don't get it then. I bet you still don't understand that you're here because you're a useless flunky either. Is this what got you transferred? Your complete failure to respect your superiors? I still don't understand what is so inappropriate about taking a break during my break time. I am a company employee, so I have every right to use the employee cafeteria. I just told you! You barely even count as an employee of this company. You were sent here because you failed. You don't get to eat in the employee cafeteria, and you don't get breaks. Get back to work. I told you before, my transfer here wasn't punitive. And I told you before, no one believes that story. Now stop wasting the company's time and money and get back to work. I was in the middle of my lunch break. It was my time. You want to eat? Fine. You can wring the raw egg out of your hair into a bowl and drink that. I took the afternoon off, so I'm going home. What? I'm going to have to take a shower to clean up all this egg from my hair, and I'll need to put my clothes in the laundry before they smell like rotten eggs. I obviously can't work like this, so the manager told me I was free to leave. What about the presentation materials for the Edisburgh project that I told you to make today? From what I understand, making those materials was originally your responsibility. I don't see why you can't simply do your own work for yourself. But if I can't get you to do them for me, there's no way I'll be able to finish them in time. Christina, you've got some explaining to do. What's the meaning of this? Why am I being suspended without pay? Do you really need me to explain exactly what you did to deserve that relatively light punishment? Yes! Now explain what's going on right now. Wow, Mrs. Carlyle, I am genuinely surprised at your lack of self-awareness. Just what do you mean by that? You threw a raw egg at me in the cafeteria last week. Yeah, and what's the big deal with that? I don't deserve suspension for that. The employee cafeteria was quite busy at that time, which means there were a lot of witnesses. You had quite a few people register complaints with HR about you that day. What? Those pathetic losers went and tattled on me? Why? All I did was teach a snobby, stuck-up flunky like you your place. You obviously don't know how things work around here. Even if it weren't for what you did to me last week, you would still have been in quite a lot of trouble as things stood. After seeing your positively shameful behavior in the employee cafeteria, dozens of your coworkers have come forward with complaints about a serious pattern of harassment and abuse by you. Oh, they're just being dramatic babies. Is that so? Well then, let me read you a summary of their contents. It seems that for quite some time, you've been using your position of seniority to abuse, harass, coerce, and threaten junior colleagues. In particular, you apparently have a penchant for pushing off work that you should be doing onto them, typically involving threats to their career prospects or direct physical violence. I'm still waiting for what the problem is. That's just the benefit that comes with seniority. I have every right to use my position to get those children to work for me, and that goes for you too. It does? You're going to have to explain that to me. Obviously, you failed so hard at our parent company that they threw you out like last week's trash. You're lower than even the new hires we took on last week. You're nothing. You don't deserve to be paid for your work here. You should be paying the company for putting up with you. Listen, Miss Carlyle, I have tried to tell you this multiple times before today, but you just haven't been listening, apparently. For the last time, my transfer here was not punitive. Here you go again with that same old story. If you would simply listen to what I'm telling you, I wouldn't have to say it over and over again like this. You sure think you're hot stuff, huh, Christina? I mean, what is it with this attitude of yours? You act like you're some sort of corporate policy enforcement officer or something. As if you're actually valuable enough to do that kind of work. I am the corporate policy enforcement officer. Huh? You are? Well, in a way, yes. Officially, your parent company is sending me out to all their child companies to promote employee education systems. But I actually have one more responsibility in addition to that. And that responsibility is to serve as a corporate compliance auditor. A what? I'm not the only one either. There are a number of our child companies which have, as of yet, been unable to meet our cost-cutting goals, and auditors like me have been sent to all of them. And the result of my audit of this company is not good, to say the least. In particular, many of the issues I've discovered center around you, Mrs. Carlisle. You've been with the company for over 20 years now, and you've been taking advantage of that long history in a number of illicit ways. Specifically, you've been pushing off your own work onto more junior employees while you do, well, not much of anything. Even in the company's busiest season, you do multiple hours of overtime every night, but without any noteworthy accomplishments to show for it. Meanwhile, the people you push your work onto actually end up having to rack up hours of overtime that could have been avoided if you had simply done your own work. Do you have any idea how much money you specifically have cost the company by producing all this pointless overtime? You're a total slimeball, Christina! How could you go around spying on me like this, lying about who you really are and what you're really doing? That's just not fair! Well, if I were to come out my first day and say, "Hello everyone, I'm a corporate compliance auditor and I'm here to inspect your company," I don't think that would be very helpful to my mission. I suppose you could consider me as something of an undercover agent. Undercover operations are often the only way to uncover wrongdoing, so I don't feel as though I've done anything unfair. But, I mean, if you'll excuse me, I still have an enormous amount of work to get back to. Hey! If you have any further questions about your punishment, you may direct them to your immediate superior at your company. Hold on just one moment, Christina. If you're really with corporate, then you can do something about this, right? You can use your position to stop me from getting suspended, can't you? I'm afraid I can't. Oh, please, Christina, you've got to help me. I'll do anything. My assignment was to serve as an auditor, and my mission in your company has completed. It's actually not in my authority to do anything about your punishment at all. Then what am I supposed to do now? I suppose there's only one thing you can do. Wait patiently for the disciplinary committee to reach their decision on your final punishment. It shouldn't take very long, considering the amount of evidence I provided them with. I can't believe this. Enjoy the rest of your day. After that, while Mrs. Carlisle was able to avoid being fired, she was still sued by 2 of the junior employees she'd been harassing. And when she couldn't bear the shame of working with the people she was making monthly lawsuit settlement payments to, she quit voluntarily. It seems she's having a difficult time finding a new job. I hope for her sake that she finds something soon, however, because those settlement payments must be having an impact on her finances. As a result of my audit, the leadership structure at that company was given a massive shakeup. We've also brought in skilled technicians for new employee training. And with that, my time as an auditor has come to an end. I still have 3 months left on my assignment here, and when that's finished, I'll be in the running for a promotion. I hope to use my experience here in order to make all of our group companies more efficient and provide our employees with positive working environments.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.